Well, will you look at that?
This is crazy. This is absolutely crazy.
Another condo casualty.
I'm at the scene of the crime. My first video was actually made at this condominium association. Take a look at this. So they have the entire beach roped off because these buildings have apparently been deemed unsafe. If you know anything about the rules and regulations that have gone into place in Florida, well, they are unfolding and condo owners are starting to feel the pain. It's a beautiful view. A lot of people dream about spending time on a beach like this, but the cost to do that has just went up exponentially. You know, in the past, condos have provided for pretty much a maintenance-free lifestyle. Plug and play, lock the door and leave, get up in the morning, look at the beach. Many retired people have had that on their radar for years to do something like this, but unfortunately, the cost for this luxury has gone through the roof, and people that own condos now are starting to feel the pinch. Super flat today, perfect day for a swim. If I wasn't making this video, I think I'd be in that water. It's super nice, but boy, things have changed. First we had the insurance debacle. Now we've got these new condo regulations that are calling for intense inspections by a structural engineer or an architect. And if they find any type of damage to the home or to the condominium building, it needs to be repaired. And these repair costs are extremely high. So as a condo owner, you are bearing the burden of sharing the cost of this repair. I've talked to numerous condo owners, and these assessments can run well up to $100,000 depending on the scope of the work and the number of units within a building. The building that I'm at today, ironically, is where I recorded my last video about the condo situation here in Florida. And unfortunately, it has fallen victim to the engineering inspections and didn't pass. So they've asked these residents to leave these buildings, which I'm sure if you live here is a huge burden to have to be displaced. And as I look at this, I would say they would be displaced for months on end.
It has been more than 24 hours since the residents left, and they're still asking the same question. When can they come back?
Didn't really sleep. So that never really happened. So.
Eric Johnson wants to know when he can go home.
You got a lot of people are upset and angry, confused, not sure what's going on next. How it could get to this point and then all of a sudden just instantly be told to leave.
Johnson is one of 11 residents who received this email telling them they had to evacuate their condos after a failed inspection.
They pretty much just told us, grab whatever you can and try to get out as fast as possible.
I did a deep dive on this topic a while back, and I'll put that video at the end if you really want to know the ins and outs of the situation. But in a nutshell, we had a condo collapse, which sparked off these new laws. And the inspections do need to be completed by the end of the year. However, there are not enough inspectors in order to complete this task. There is some talk about extending the deadline because getting all these buildings inspected is a tall task.
Residents tell me they each had to pay around $43,000 for the inspection. Those evacuated are all asking the same questions.
It would be nice to know when or if we could come back, when that'll be, if it's going to be a long-term solution.
So the new law is that any condo that's 30 years old must have a structural inspection, and hopefully it passes. Obviously, if it doesn't pass, they need to make the necessary repairs, and they should have an inspection every 10 years thereafter. Any condominium that is within 3 miles of the beach, however, the threshold is 25 years old and every 10 years after. As a matter of fact, we've seen an uptick in inventory in the condo markets, particularly in Palm Beach County, Broward County, and Dade County. There were over 20,000 condos on the market in the second quarter of 2024. So we already have a sluggish real estate market. Add all these condos to the situation, should make things interesting. Interest rates did fall as the market's already pricing in a rate cut that we haven't had yet, even though the Fed hasn't cut rates. They're speculating that he will in September. The 30-year mortgage rate fell to 6.4%. That's down from 6.73%, so basically a quarter of a point. I don't know if that's really enough to move the needle, but I guess we'll take it. I'm hiding in the shade because it's hot as hell. Hate to say it, but it is. I'm melting out here. So had you heard about these new condo laws? Tell me, did you know about these? Do you own a condo? And if you do own a condo, have you run into this problem? And if so, did you have to pay an assessment and how much? Inquiring minds want to know.
Just couldn't imagine to be in this position they're in.
Christine Chico's building is not affected.
And for my neighbors that are now homeless, they have to find a place to live.
Fortunately, Johnson is able to stay with neighbors. He's thankful to have a roof over his head.
Not very often that I'm on the receiving end of the help, so it's tough.
So if you enjoyed the content, make sure to hit the like button. It does help YouTube share it, and it lets me know if I should make more content like this. And of course, that like button is right next to the subscribe button. So maybe hit that one too, just a hint. And remember, my friends, stay informed, stay safe, and stay free. Take care. I always love these tropical beach entryways, but I like the shade more because once I get out to the beach, I'm gonna fry.